waking a sleeping giant. December 7, 1941. Pearl Harbor, on the Hawaiian Islands, the powerful naval base of America's Pacific Fleet. It was a Sunday. The morning sun was warm and gentle, the sky calm and blue, and the atmosphere leisurely. Sailors and soldiers at the base were preparing for church, or enjoying their breakfast. None of them could have imagined that within a few hours, this peaceful morning would turn into one of the darkest days in American history. Thousands of miles away, the flames of the Second World War were already raging. Hitler's Germany was conquering Europe, while Japan was desperately expanding its empire across Asia and the Pacific. But America remained neutral. Both its government and its people wanted to stay out of foreign wars. Japan, however, knew that to dominate Asia, their greatest obstacle was the U.S. Navy. So, Japan's military leaders devised a terrifying plan to launch a sudden, devastating attack that would cripple America's naval power for years, leaving Japan free to expand. On the morning of December 7th, as planned, about 360 Japanese aircraft took off from carriers and flew toward Pearl Harbor. Although American radar detected the planes, inexperienced officers on duty assumed they were friendly aircraft. That small mistake marked the beginning of catastrophe. What followed was pure hell. Japanese bombers swooped down on American battleships one after another. Explosions ripped through the harbor, flames rose into the sky, and cries of agony filled the air. The calm waters of Pearl Harbor were transformed into a burning graveyard. In just 2 hours, 8 massive battleships were sunk or badly damaged, nearly 200 aircraft destroyed, and more than 2,400 American servicemen and civilians killed. When the news reached Washington, the entire nation was shocked. A country that had desperately tried to avoid war suddenly found its pride and security shattered beyond repair. The very next day, December 8, President Franklin D. Roosevelt delivered a historic address to the nation. He declared December 7th, a date which will live in infamy, and formally announced war against Japan. Japan had believed that America would be frightened and forced into negotiation. But the opposite happened. The attack awakened the sleeping giant. The American people rose in anger and determination. Millions of young men and women joined the armed forces, factories worked day and night to produce weapons, and the nation that once resisted involvement now plunged into World War II with its full strength. For Japan, Pearl Harbor was a tactical victory, but a strategic disaster. That single mistake had dragged into the battlefield an enemy with unmatched industrial power and, eventually, nuclear capability. It was a decision that would lead to Japan's downfall. This is not only the story of a treacherous attack, but also the story of how one mistake changed the course of history forever.